Okay, hello everybody and welcome to this video with myself and Simon Bates. We are going to be looking at the new Selmer Reference 54 and just a little bit of background on this before we get into the blowing. So the references came out, probably 13, 14, maybe even more years ago now. And the 54, when it first came out, they were available in sort of limited editions, hummingbirds, kookaburra. There was 5 editions and they all had a bird associated with them from the different continents. The reason I'm telling you all of this is now the new version, Reference 54, which had a couple of changes in about 2014, 2015. They lost a little bit of weight, basically, and it brightened them up a little. Originally, those Reference 54s came out, and obviously the reason it's called a 54 is that Selmer Mark 6 came out in 1954, and it was quite a clever marketing ploy in a way. It was to reference that very popular model. But it's quite interesting to have seen these evolve now to the point where they did lose a little bit of weight because players were saying they wanted something a bit more vibrant, a bit more energy that you can get from a really good Mark 6, for example. But let's have a little hear to how it plays, Simon, and then we can chat about that. So, I mean, first, it's got that Selmer sound, hasn't it? Even those first few notes.
The old Selmer sound, I mean, for me, if I'm honest, the Reference 54 is my favourite of the newer Selmer saxophones because, I used to play Mark 6s. I've always liked what a Mark 6 can do, but struggled with perhaps the intonation and quirks of Mark 6. This is a lot more consistent. You can put this in your hands and not worry too much about, do I have to tune it? Do I have to think about working it hard? It's kind of like, it's like almost a vintage car that's been completely and utterly stripped. And rebuilt so much.
New engine.
And new bodywork and new everything. It just works so well.
Yeah, and I personally feel, actually, this is my horn as well. That's what I use.
Okay.
But we're letting Simon do the playing today. I feel free. You've got it, mate. I feel like when they did those changes just 3 or 4 years ago, it just livened them up a little bit, and that was just what they were needing. And so for me, it's definitely the most vibrant of the modern Selmers, but there's still that density of sound, like you demonstrated in the sound as well. So cool. Well, maybe just give us a little bit more, just so we can hear the full range. Please play responsibly, everybody. No, we were just going to mention about the finish on the 54 as well, if we can. So this is the gold lacquer. There is a matte version available, which we were talking about before, was actually a little bit more popular at the outset, but we've seen a shift actually over to these now, and I think that's because people wanting that vibrancy. The matte perhaps is a little darker, isn't it, in how it plays because of that extra lacquer. So yeah, great all-round saxophone, and really it's nice to see Selmer, I think, producing still some really excellent saxophones that can
absolutely. They've so much history, and this feels like it's a kind of a natural successor to the Mark 6, as I say, rather than the Series 3 and Series 2, which are great horns. But this for me is the best Selmer that's available to buy new.
Cool, thanks. Well, maybe if you can play us a little out, Simon.
Okay.
Good man.